Your soul burns for me. Kolamak! Mortal.
We're at the end of day 4, and a lot has happened to the build, and I want to go over that. So there are some changes to the tree, you can see it here, but most notably there is a lot of swapping out in the gear pieces. So let's take a look at that. First off, I made a new weapon instead of the rapier that I used previously. I have now made a psychotic axe instead, and that is for the implicit with gain 5 rage on melee hit. It is a global modifier, so it counts for the shield, which means that it only takes 3 seconds of attacking, and then we are at 30 rage, because you can get it twice per second. Then I bought a bunch of abyssal hollow fossils, so I crafted the abyssal socket onto it until I got crit multi, and then I annulled away. Well, that could be prefixes on it. I removed a couple of those, but I got lucky, and then I removed the right suffix from it, so I could craft it increased damage per endurance charge onto it. So instead of the 35% crit multi the rapier had, now the axe gives 5 rage on melee hit, which I consider quite a fair trade. And then I just have a generically good murderous eye duel in here, so there's some life and there's some shock, and avoid being shocked and stunned. I don't benefit from these two other modifiers. Then there is a Calendar's Touch, and the reason for that is there is my biggest acquisition so far this league is an endurance charge ring. Usually these are quite cheap compared to other charge rings, but this league they have, like, usually you can get them for like 5 divines a couple of days into the league, but I had to pay 25 for this one, so it took a little longer than it should have, but I forgot a little trick here. That's why I have a calm sign here, because I should just have used 2 of these, because they do ramp up the charges, as you can see here. And of course then you have to work on the affixes, but you can run purity of elements and do something on the passive tree. But getting plus to max charges, that is huge. So with Aunt's Anguish and 2 of these, then you will be sitting at 9 endurance charges like I am right now, and it's going to be for a fraction of the cost. So little note there. But let's look at here at the helmet. I needed some suppression, so I have a better helmet, but I absolutely needed 10% chance to suppress spell damage, and I need the intelligence and I need accuracy. So this was what the market gave me, and it fits the bill, but eventually I'll want a Haunted Bassinet with around 1000 armor and evasion each. So this is just a stepping stone. Then there is another huge acquisition here. This is a craft, and in a perfect world I would want a Conquest Lamella. That is the best base. Marshall's Brigandine is only the second best, but the Fractured Life on it is tier 1 and it's a max roll, and I paid 2 divine for the base, and it had item level 86, and if I wanted a worse fractured modifier on Conquest Lamella, I would have to pay like 10 divines or more, so I couldn't afford that because the craft takes up a little bit. What you do is you buy Essence of Horrors. That is the 10% reduced extra damage from critical strikes per endurance charge. So I'm at 9, which means that I take 90% reduced extra damage from critical strikes. So I'm not completely immune to them, but it's pretty close to it. And what you do is that you spend those essences until you get 1 good suffix and 1 open, and then you craft something of utility so you can move your resist around, and then you make Searing Exarch, the the strongest influence. Let's see here. And then you use Eldritch Chaos Orbs to re-roll the prefixes until you get something good. And then you can annul, you don't really use annulments, you just use Eldritch Chaos Orbs. And then you Eldritch Exalt until you get something decent. And if you don't, then you just re-roll it. It can become expensive because let's see how, yeah, I paid like 34 for these when I crafted, and I had to spend like 20 or so re-rolling, and then I needed the exalts as well. Anyway, it cost me quite a bit, but it is a very good chess piece, and it solves some of my other issues as well. I get more armor, I get more evasion compared to the Resos, and then I get the a frenzy charge every 15 seconds, and then I have 10% fizz damage taken from hits as cold damage, which is a very good modifier to have. So you can see I have frenzy charges up here, they're building, so it's so I have them on boss fights as well. Then there's Replica Dragonfang's Flight. This is to get +3 to Shield Crush, so I get the benchmark of level 24. And it allows me to get a pair of Hemophilia gloves. I wanted the explosions from them, but also if a target is bleeding, then you can get a really good crit cluster on the passive tree. This is one of the best crit wheels you can absolutely you can get. So on the entire passive tree, so 30 multi and 80% increased crit chance, and then another 80% crit chance. So for just 5 points, let's see, you get like 30 here, and then you get 190% increased critical strike chance. So that's why I really wanted to get going with the Hemophilia gloves. Also, one of my strategies that I'm running right now really relies on clearing packs, because there's a lot of monsters in the maps, so they help out a lot. And but you also need to scale generic like global damage and global physical damage. One of the ways you do this is if you take this one down here, so you get 8% increased damage per endurance charge. And then I have the 2 wheels over here, which gives me increased attack speed with physical skills and increased physical damage. And it's the same with this one over here. Again, 3% increased attack speed and 12% increased physical damage. So each node of these gives me some generic physical damage. So I'm just shy of 300% increased physical damage. So whenever things explode, I think it's like for 18 or 19% of their life. I did the numbers last night, but this is quite substantial. Also, this one here, it scales increased area of effect, so the explosions become larger. Reliquous Impatience, still the same as before. I can't afford a corrupted pair yet, but eventually I'll be looking for one. Emperor's Vigilance, same as before. And then I have a new Arn's Anguish, which has a corrupted implicit of 6% increased maximum life. It's just a little bit more value, that's all. Flasks, I don't think I've ever gone over these, but this is immunity to corrupting blood. And this is if I run out of mana, because I have 174 on reserve mana, but Shield Crush eats up a lot. So it's just a get out of jail kind of thing. And then of course bleeding. I'm immune to corrupted blood from the boots, but the bleeding can still hurt. Then there's crit chance, and then some charge recovery here for some more crit chance on the Diamond Flask, and then a Lion's Roar just for 10% more damage. If you see here, the tooltip is still increasing, and if I put on Blood Rage, it goes up a little bit further. But this is my character, but let's also take a little look at my friend over here. Oh, sorry, let's mute my computer. So this is also a Shield Crush guy, but I mainly wanted him because of Tempest Shield and Determination. The reason why I wanted Tempest Shield is so I can use a shield like this. You can also use a Shaper Shield, but because he's using Shield Crush, I wanted to be able to craft a high armor shield, and I really wanted that recover 5% of life when you block. You can get this on the Shaper Shield as well, but then you have to rely on there being good prefixes. This one I just put in the Hardy crafting station, and then I just clicked re-roll defensive modifiers until I got either tier 1 flat armor or tier 1 increased armor. So this is a pretty good one. So yeah, I paid 1 divine for the base, which was probably a steal because it's a colossal tower shield, so it's the highest armor base in the game. But I mean, if you check trade, then at times you get lucky. So if we look at the numbers here on the guy, he has, where is the block? Chance to block attack is at 65 and 65. So, and he just negates all damage. And then he has a good chunk of evasion, and he has, I think it's more than, it's close to 20,000 armor when he's mapping because of determination. And the reason why he has so much block is because I'm using Replica Perfect Form, which gives him a versatile combatant. So that's this one down here. So your overcapped block damage goes on spell block as well. So this is super tanky for him, and like I hardly ever see him his life bar moves. He has died exactly 1 time for me, and that was in a Fist Reflect map with like 26 or 28%. Helmet here, basic stats, life, and some chaos resistance, and then also cold, because overcap cold resistance increases my evasion rating. So you can see I have like a little more than 80% increased evasion rating from that one. Then a ring with some cold and chaos resistance and other stuff. Perco's Toe, everybody uses this. It's very good for giving you some damage. I could also, if I needed him to be more tanky, I could swap it out, but I absolutely don't have to. Because he's using Shield Crush, Shield Charge, and Spectral Shield Throw of Thratos, that means he is never attacking with his main hand, so I gave him an Aurum Vorax, so he gets 60% to all elemental resistances, making life a lot easier for the rest of the gear. And it also gives, see here, so if we look at their evasion rating is at shy of 8,000, then I put this one on, and now he's at 10,000, plus 10,000. Then, let's see more. So then I have an Anathema ring that gives him a curse limit to 3. And then I have a pair of Corrupted Gloves. I was hoping that he could trigger Assassin's Mark, but apparently he can't. So I need to hit things first and apply my Assassin's Mark, and then he will apply the 2 other curses as well. So I probably want a better pair of gloves with the double curse corruption, but these are absolutely fine. Bell of the Deceiver, this is just to get intimidated, and then there are some decent other modifiers on it. So he's basically, he's not crit immune as well, but he's kind of close to it with 72% reduced extra damage. And then the boots, I noticed he got frozen a lot for like several seconds at a time. Sometimes like 5 seconds he would just stand doing nothing, despite being rather tanky. So I just crafted this modifier on a pair of boots, and now he is always helping me out, keeping his auras on and just cursing everything. So pretty decent tanky guy here. But let's go into the PoB. So it was a little bit of a long talk, but now we know the basics of the build. 2 overlapping waves, and I have the 10% more attack speed because the tree is still not showing this runecraft thing here with 10% more attack speed with offhand. So that's why the configuration is here. Still 84 Guardian Pinnacle boss, nothing extraordinary here. I have frenzy charges now. So this is just from getting that implicit on the chest piece. And endurance charges, I use that all the time. I am fortified, I have 30 rage, so it's just attack for 3 seconds, then I'm up there because of the axe, and then see nothing else here. So bleeding, let's look at 10.8, and then I apply bleed, and now we're at 14.4. The reason for that is the wheel here with all of the crit, the bleed and crit wheel. So I have, oh, that's actually not so good. I should get a couple of tattoos with that. So I only have the 25% crit chance, no, not crit, bleed chance from hemophilia, and then I have, so I'm at 45%. So it's because I can't afford this one right now, but I should just sacrifice some strength nodes and get more chance to apply bleed. But yeah, this is the basic setup right now. These are really easy to craft. I have made videos on it in the last league, so go check out my playlist there if you want to see how they're done. And then I will probably want some better jewels eventually, or maybe even getting rid of these. This one is the same lethal pride as before, which gives maximum life, crit multi, crit chance, fire res, increased physical damage. Oh, that means I'm above 300% then. I didn't count that in the calculation for hemophilia. Then there's some more crit chance, and there's some crit chance here as well, and then rounding things out with just 20 flat strength here. This one here is 100% increased charge duration. This is so I can keep the frenzy charges up, but also making life a lot easier, keeping brutal charges up on bosses, because instead of 10 seconds, they're up for 20, and it makes, let's see here in game. So if you use Enduring Cry next to a boss, you will get you'll get at least a couple of charges, and it has a cooldown of 8 seconds. So having a 20-second window instead of a 10-second, that means you have like 2 seconds to reapply it. Makes it a lot easier. So yeah, this is more crit chance here, and then I have one tattoo here, and that is because otherwise I was just shy of. Without this, let's see. No, stun avoidance is not shown in here. It is here. I'm at 108%, so I need 2% more stun avoidance. Then I don't have to use this one. But that's the build so far, and yeah, you can see still using these: Impact, Brutal Fervor, Headsman, and Bane of Legends. And then you might have noticed here, this is a little teaser for the future. I kind of want to use Unnatural Instinct again, but I was kind of just using it to hide these. I just acquired these two, so I can steal Fortitude from a champion. So I always have maximum 45. And what that will do to my damage is that if I go into Shield Crush, where is it? Here. That allows me to, instead of use 45, I can use, let's just put in a normal melee fist. So I'm at 14.6 million right now, and then I can remove 45. Then I'm at 12.1 and 16.5. So what these two jewels will give me is that they will give me 2 million damage whenever I put them on. And then I can also move my gear pieces around a little bit more. So that's something that's worth to come, and I got them for fairly cheap. One was 1 divine, the other cost 6, so 7 divines total for the pair. I could expect them to go up in price. But yeah, that was a pretty long run, long talk here. I hope it was enlightening, giving some insight into how I progressed the build. I am not done yet, but the pieces are coming together, and I will keep improving it the coming days. And yeah, I'll keep you posted here. So thanks for listening this long, and have a good one.
Death will never come for an immortal. Mortal. Feel death's grip. Your soul burns for me. Mortal. Arise, my children. Feed! Feel death's grip, mortal. Give your soul to me. Your soul burns for me. Your soul burns for me. Korlamak, darkness swarms. Mortal. Feel death's grip. Arise, my children. Feed! Give your soul to me. Your soul burns for me. Korlamak! Mortal.